Good afternoon, I'm Betty on plot 60 of my allotment, and today I'm going to harvest my Monge 2 and I'm going to take those down now and put some stuff into the soils, a bit of composting and get it ready, then plant my pumpkins which I've been growing at home. And today is the first day that the heat wave in the UK this week has eased off, so I think the pumpkins definitely need to go in. They will need a lot of watering, which is why I've held off until now, but they need to be in the ground, so that's my project today. Monge 2 out, pumpkins in, and a bit of a tidy up. And just looking around, it looks very nice. I have lots of flowers. Oh, I will dig up some of my potatoes today. I grew some in pots and some in the ground to see which would give the best harvest, so we'll find out. But everywhere around me I've got lots of flowers, which I felt was lacking last year, so I'm quite pleased about that. I'm happy with all the flowers. I also have coriander to plant. I thought I'd planted it, but it turns out I had planted what I think must be nigella or some kind of blue flower. So we need to get some coriander into the ground because I use a lot of that, and I like to dry it and also to dry the seeds for curries. My fenugreek is doing well. I'm going to uncover that today, and I think that probably it can fend for itself, as can the beetroot. So I'll take the covers off. I don't use pesticides, everything up here is organic, but I do use washing up liquid, and I use coffee grinds to keep slugs at bay. Washing up liquid is for the butterflies and aphids. Doesn't really harm them, but they don't like it. So here is the remains of the Monge 2. I don't think I had much of a harvest. I had two lots, enough to do a few stir fries. And down here still I've got, this is broccoli. These are 3 that I was given, and they're not looking very happy. I've seen the cabbage whites go at them. So I have to decide whether to keep them or not. But the soil looks pretty good. I will add to it, and then we'll have it ready for the pumpkins. And they are waiting over here. It took me a long time to get any Turk's heads to germinate. These are the Turk's head pumpkins, and they have taken ages. I had to do them again because the weather a few weeks ago went cold and wet and I didn't like it. So that's my second batch. And these ones, I've forgotten what they're called. Oh, here we are. Maruna squash, these ones. They did a lot better, but you can see they need to be somewhere where they can trail now, so we'll get them in the ground. Okay, so from 5 potato plants, similar to this, that's how many I got. So from that big bucket, I would say not worth it. Better to put them in the ground. And I've got some over there in the ground. When I dig those up, I think we'll find there's a lot more. But who knows? It was very dry in there. I'd been underwatering them, but there weren't very many there. So that's the result of adding my second early. So first early, second earlies in there. 2 empty buckets. Not really worth it for the yield. So growing in buckets, okay if you live with no garden and you've only got a balcony, but really not practical for an allotment, but it was good to try it. Also, I did not water them nearly enough. I was afraid they'd go soggy, but they dried up badly. Otherwise they might have produced more, but who cares? I've got a lovely allotment with lots of other things, and I've still got potatoes over there, and I've got my main crop over there. I usually have too many potatoes to know what to do with, so I can afford a little bit of a loss, and never mind. We'll be enjoying some beautiful new potatoes with our salads next week, and I've got enough to share with my family. So achievements today have been to take my potatoes out of the pots, put the soil out to good use, take the potatoes home with the Monge 2, water everything, lovely flowers, everything's looking very pretty. I've planted 2 of my pumpkins. I think these will go in the polytunnel and get planted tomorrow. I've taken the cover off my beetroot. That needs thinning out, it's a bit messy. Over here I've taken the cover off my broccoli and put some loose netting on. And next to that I've got my fenugreek and some nigella flowers, all doing very nicely. I just put some string to support them. lots of weeding and cutting back of things which had started to go to seed due to the heat wave, mainly flowers like the foxgloves. I think maybe they might need trimming back a bit. I've got some lovely purple flowers on my runner beans, just starting to appear. And over here I've got these beautiful purple sweet peas. Aren't they beautiful? Really lovely. I'll pick some tomorrow because the more we pick, the more we'll get.